Hi guys, so welcome back to another video of The Average Vlogs, and today we are going to talk about my personal project report. So this is the second episode in the personal project guide video, and today we are going to annotate and live analyze my personal project report in front of you. I'm going to talk about each single tip and trick. I'm going to connect all of my entire 15-page report with the strands of personal project and show you how I incorporated all the strands, and due to which I got a predicted 7. So to make it more good, I just told one topic. Like I just told that my topic was a cinematic trailer for self-development journey, because my learning on product goal were a little bit like very interconnected. So it was better for me to give a topic line about my personal project report. It's not necessary, but you can still give it. It helps the viewer, it helps the reader to navigate to it, because again a reader won't gonna read every single line of it. So your headings, the subheadings are the things which only he will read, and he will have a mark scheme that does he have a learning goal, does he have a product goal, does he have evidence, all that stuff, and on which it will mark. He or she is not gonna read your entire report, remember that. Also guys, one more thing I forgot, the max limit is 15 pages. You can't have more than 15 pages in your personal project report. 30 pages during my draft 3. I had to reduce 15 pages, because if it exceeds more than one page, also if it becomes 16 page, IB examiners won't care about the 16th page. They're gonna do marking only as per the first 15 pages. So remember that, okay? And then you must have an inspiration. Your inspiration can be unit of inquiry, a global context from any IB MYP subject, or any service have you done. So my inspiration was unit of inquiry in my English language literature class, which was telling stories, because trailers, stories, the narrative, English, it was all related. So that became my inspiration for my personal project. You can see that now, but remember, we need to give evidence for everything which you say. Everything which you write requires an evidence in personal project. So you can see I've given evidence of the work which I did in English, and then which I have connected with my project. So now then after inspiration, you need to talk about your personal interest. As you guys know, I'm a very good YouTube star. So I use my YouTube channel as my interest for my personal project. I talked about my filmmaking journey, how I've done cast projects related to filmmaking, and then I linked all of it to my personal project, and which acted as my strong base, as my personal interest and inspiration all were matching to my product goal and learning goal, thus due to only which I was allowed to take them as my goals. Moving on, we need to give prior learning. It is not in the success, it's not in the personal project guide, but it is good if you give your prior learning, so that the reader knows that what skills you had and what skills you wanted to develop, so that you can talk about this table in the reflection, the criterion C. And then comes, this is the strand 2, which is the success criterion. This is how I'm gonna mark my project. This is how I will mark my project. So you can see I will give a 7 to 8 when I have all of this, and these are the specific criterions for footage quality, time duration, impact, content, background score, credits, narrative script. All of this was researched by me. You can see the evidence of the research also. All of these are evidence, the primary research, Google surveys, analysis of movies, you can see Star Wars, Brahmastra, all the analysis, trailer components, and all the research which I did for specific criterion research. And also to show your research, you need to have a draft success criteria too. A draft success criteria too. So you need to have one draft and a final, and all of this is part of strand 2. This is all related to how do you create a success criteria. See, if you don't have research, you just have your criterion, then they will give you 0 marks, because they don't count anything which is without an evidence. So anything which you put in the report must have the evidence. You can see all the research which I did, and then you need to give detailed specifications for each level: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See, you can read, like I have given, so for like time duration I said I will only get an 8 when the trailer is of less than 4 minutes, and then I have specified later in my research like why a trailer should be less than 4 minutes, and then if the trailer is more than 4 minutes I'll give it a 1 out of 8. And then comes the final, which is the third strand of Criterion A, the action plan. How will I achieve what? How will I achieve? When did I achieve? Evidence of me achieving it. So you can see these were the short term, long term goals. These were the steps to action plan is to achieve the product goal. Remember guys, action plan is for product goal. Learning goal is nowhere related to the action plan. Okay, so I told short term goals. This was a research part, and I also told why is this task important, the planned end date and the actual end date, and we need to link action plan to the success criteria, and again evidence of me doing this step. This is the evidence. And then we move forward to Criterion B. So these are the ATL skills. So first I did was I started strand 1, which is ATL skill, which I developed through my learning goal, and I specifically highlighted this ATL skill which I developed was research skill, informative literacy skill. Your supervisor will give the list of ATL skills, and then in which you need to detail and choose one ATL skill which matches your learning. Now to show that how I have developed that ATL skill, I will answer all the questions related to that ATL skill. So I think I developed research skills through OPVL. You must know OPVL from your INS classes. So now this is the evidence of me developing my OPVL, and then I say I developed research skills through creating research questions, also examples of the research questions which I did, and then I say I also researched by interviewing an expert which was a director of a famous Amazon Prime web series director, Breathe Into the Shadows. So all of this are evidences for me achieving my ATL goal, ATL skill, which was research. And then after that we have to do strengths and weaknesses of how you achieved the learning goal. This is an important part guys, not mentioned in the guide, but this is an important part. And then comes a strand 2, which is ATL skill, communication skills applied, achieved and developed for the product goal. Communication skills were achieved by me by seeking feedback. These are the notes of the feedback. Then I say I proved it by showing the multiple drafts which I did for my project. Then I showed through a to-do list that I was always focusing on getting a feedback. This all proved my communication skills. And then I proved my drafts by comparing my project. As I said, project is never given to IB, so it's best to show your project in the report only as many times as possible. So you can see through the compare and contrast of drafts, I have introduced my project in the report so that IB believes that I have created a project. And then this is the feedback which I got from the expert and my peers about my project, all linking to communication skills. Now we are back to Criterion C, which is reflecting. So now I started with the new skills which I developed, and again to give evidence I used my project to show the new skills which I developed. I talked about the footages which I recorded, and then I showed how these type of footage helped me to gain new skills. And then moving on, after that I showed I used this infograph to represent the new knowledge which I had. I showed how I developed my skills in the fields of cinematography, editing using Final Cut Pro, transitions, effects, research, dialogues. This is all area where I'm saying the new information which I gained. So this is me reflecting. And then I use this chart in my Criterion A. Now I just added one more column which is skills I developed. So this is like what I knew, what I wanted to learn and what I learned. This chart helps me to reflect on it, and then you also must reflect on the IB learner profile which you developed through this project. You have talked about ATLs, now it's time to talk about IB learner profiles, and I chose reflective as I think I was very reflective, and then I used my diagram skills, my knowledge, my evidences to support my IB learner profile with evidence. And then after taking challenges, I thought how I'm going to take this forward to DP. I kept it very short because I had less space, but I just explained how I'm going to use this as for my group 6 projects, which is theater and for TOK and CAS. And last was method testing. I showed how did I test my project through a Google form, and through my Google form I got peers and my expert, which was a director, feedback on the criterions, and basis on their feedback I gave justification and what could have been done best to improve. You can see from it. And again I gave evidences of my product and the research which I did to prove that why I'm giving these many marks on the basis of my success criteria to my project. And in the end, this is the expert evaluation snippet, and then this is the conclusion of my entire personal project journey. And thus this concludes my PP report. Yup, so this was my PP report. If you want an entire report, if you want any extra feedback, comment down, and that's it.